Hi, so here's the plan for tomorrow morning with your students. We'll start by giving them the learning targets. This is what I'm thinking here. Just basic navigation of those tools, which I think is going to be a decent amount of time in and of itself, and then application all the way throughout. So we'll start off with a simple object. We'll talk about that here in a second, and then a more complex area at the very end. So I'm just going to immediately get students into SketchUp and we will see if we run into any problems. You probably saw earlier today, I emailed Frank, hoping that it is unlocked for them, that it is not blocked, because that would be a big bummer and put a little bit of a damper on our plans for tomorrow, but we will work with that. Then I'm going to give them just some unstructured playtime where they just go in, they just goof around. So we make sure everybody gets in and uh, no real expectations while learning and figuring out the tool. And then they're going to turn and tell just one thing that they found. And then we're going to do a quick whip around of everybody in the class having to teach us all one thing. And then these are the things that I want them to have discovered. So some of these we may cover in this, but I'm assuming we won't get to all of them. But basic shapes, how to move, the push pull to expand objects, how to rotate and then orbit around those shapes, and then some basic functionality. So just those endpoints, edges, and faces, those three different points in when using SketchUp and how to identify those, just the different planes that you'd be working with, horizontal, vertical, all of those pieces in there, how to group and create components to make their lives a little bit easier, and basic things around clicking and creating shapes. There's some very basic stuff there, and measurements. So once we go through that and give them a little bit of time to apply, this will be more teacher directed. Then I'm going to get them back into using the tool. So the hope is that unstructured playtime, just explore, now get a little bit of knowledge and then apply that. And I'm going to have them create me a barbecue table for outside. And if they don't want to do that, I'm going to tell them they can create whatever they want, but they have to check it off with one of us first. So I'm going to give them some structures here, but the key here is this needs to be simple. So they are going to do some things a little bit more intentionally, and I'm going to give them 20 minutes to do this. So this is just 10 minutes. This will be 20 full minutes for them to create a small, simple shape. And I might expand this depending on how we're doing. They may get a little bit more time because they're going to have to create a product by the very end here. And I'm hoping that they're going to fail quite a bit in here and get frustrated, and we can support them as they go. Then we're going to do share with the person next to you. What did you create? And then we'll do some whole group kind of debrief, creation, troubleshoot any sort of like major. I'm still struggling with this and that, and those types of things. But then move into something a little bit more complex if there is time. So this is, I took from your email the floor plan to a bathroom. I thought maybe the layout of a tiny house might be a little bit tricky, but if there are some kids that are really picking this up super fast, we'll give it to them. Everyone else will have them create a floor plan for a bathroom and give them 30 minutes to do that because it's going to be a little bit more complex, and they can really go nuts with that. There's a lot of different things they can do in terms of shelves and sinks and plumbing and all that type of stuff. And at the very end, we'll come back to our learning targets. I'll have them do a little bit of a self-assessment, and then this Padlet here will ask them to just reflect what is something they learned, what are they struggling with, and what's something that they want to learn still. So this should give us a little bit of data at the end of how we did and what a good next step for students would be. But that will give them a ton of hands-on time and creation with just us there to support them as they work through. All right. If you have any questions, concerns, change of plans, whatever, let me know. If not, I will see you tomorrow morning at around 8 a.m.